So up to now, we talked about the overall performance of computer, CPU, instructions. And then we talked about if more hardware is added based on Amdahl's law, then the parallel execution will be possible. Right? So the overall performance reporting then is based on the hardware addition or hardware upgradation, okay, and uh, the software configuration. So that tells the designer, the micro architecture designer, that which benchmarking programs were run on the processor under test to modify the hardware, or adding extra hardware to improve the performance, or adding extra software to improve the performance. So that is based on how much memory should be increased and how many processors should be added, what will be the clock rate, and which compiler version is good to generate the good assembly language or assembly code is one condition. Another one is the evaluation process condition that provides the information about the special constraints, like the instruction mixing, like only data transfer instructions are there, or only branch instructions are there, or only arithmetic instructions are there, or the combination of all these instruction sets together. So that can influence the overall performance of a processor also. And third important takeaway in performance reporting is the performance summary overall. So the performance summary is typically expressed in terms of the average rate. So in mathematics, we found the different average rates like the arithmetic mean. So in the arithmetic mean, how it is measured? The 1 over number of instructions, okay, multiplied with their execution time. So that is, for a given program, how many instructions are there. Then the second mean is the harmonic mean. Generally in microarchitecture, in computer architecture, many architecture designers, they follow this harmonic mean in terms of clock rate. Here it is in terms of clock execution time. Here it is gigahertz in mean time. So that is execution time means how it is. This is equal to 1 over clock rate is equal to the execution time. So that is used. So what is the clock rate for a given n number of instructions? Then another average rate which is used is weighted mean. We are not going to discuss anything about this mathematical equation, but we are going to find a simple meaning of this harmonic average rate calculation for performance reporting. So to understand this, let us have an example, simple example for computing this harmonic rate. Is suppose consider there is a scenario where we have 3 processors. Okay, these 3 processors performing a particular task. So in that, some part of the task will be executed parallelly by one processor. Some part of the task performed, serially. Okay, so that if you want to evaluate their average performance in terms of their throughput, suppose, so let us say a computer is having 3 processors. Processor A is completing 60% task per hour, and processor B of the server completes around 20% task per hour, and processor C completes 180 tasks per hour, suppose. So total there are 3 processors are there in the server. Are you getting the point? Yeah? Good. So then how to give the average performance report of the server which is having 3 processors? So to calculate the harmonic mean of their performance in terms of their rate, so identically the individual throughputs, let us say for processor A, B, and C, let us say the parameters like x1 is equal to 60, x2 is equal to 120, x3 is equal to 180. So to calculate the harmonic mean, so how the harmonic mean is computed? The standard equation is used here is the number of processors over their clock rate. So that is, let us assume here is 1 over x1. So its average throughput. The second processor throughput is 1 over 120. That is suppose 0.00833. And x3 performance rate, the harmonic mean rate is 1 over 180. So that is 0.00556. Then what is the overall performance report of this process, the server, which is having this, okay, this server which is having these three processors. So that gives, from the equation, if you recall, it is the summation of, okay, so what is the overall performance is how it is computed? It is doing the summation of these rates. So just adding them together, it will give you the result that the summation of these three is equals to, it is approximately 0.03056 is the overall performance reporting. Overall performance reporting. Hope it's clear, right?